You're leading an e-commerce business, so AI is on your roadmap. But did you know that 70 to 85% of AI initiatives fail? At Luigi's Box, we work with over 4,000 e-commerce businesses, and we hear a lot about teams that invested in the right tools and still couldn't get them off the ground. Not because the technology doesn't work, not because the budget ran out. The number one reason is something that almost never comes up in any implementation plan. Your team doesn't want it to succeed. Not consciously. Their fear quietly kills it though. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about why AI plans fail, why it actually makes complete sense, and 3 things you should do before you start any AI project. In a survey of 3,000 managers, 64% said their employees are afraid AI will make them less valuable at work. And more than half believe their people think it'll cost them their jobs at some point. And honestly, that fear makes complete sense. If you're a copywriter and your company just rolled out an AI content tool, or you're in ops and they've just announced an AI system for the work you do, the sensible question is, where do I fit in this? When leadership doesn't answer that question, and most honestly don't, people fill in silence with worst-case assumptions. And then they do what anyone does when they feel threatened. They protect themselves. They raise concerns at meetings, they find edge cases the tool can't handle, they drag their feet on adoption, and none of it looks like sabotage. Each objection sounds totally reasonable on its own. But together, they can quietly kill the project, and leadership ends up thinking the technology just didn't work. We've actually been here before. When factories started automating assembly lines, workers feared rightly so that their specific jobs were at risk. And many were. But the industry didn't shrink. New roles emerged around building, programming, and maintaining the machines. Employment shifted. What's happening now is the same thing, just in offices. AI was replacing repetitive cognitive work, which is the white-collar version of the assembly line. The people who learn to work alongside these tools will be more valuable, not less. But that's not obvious to someone staring down a new tool that might make their job disappear. One CEO described the very first question his team asked when he introduced AI tools internally. Will there be enough tasks for us? That's not resistance. That's a team asking to understand their future. And it does deserve a straight answer. So, what does good leadership actually look like here? Let's start with an uncomfortable stat. Only 22% of employees say their company has communicated a clear AI strategy to them. Meanwhile, 92% of executives plan to increase AI investment in the next couple of years. That gap between what's being spent and what people actually understand is where projects go to die. Here's what actually works with AI adoption. The first step is to have a real conversation with your team about why you're doing this. Not a memo, not a slide deck, an actual conversation. What problems are you trying to solve? What's not changing? What does this mean for their roles specifically? Don't just skip straight to the tool. The second step is to show a credible path where AI makes the team more productive, not redundant. More revenue from the same headcount, fewer repetitive tasks, more interesting work. If you can point to that clearly, the fear drops. If you can't, well, that's worth sorting out before you roll anything out. And the third step is to tie adoption to things people actually care about, not just business metrics. Things like faster quotes so people aren't staying late, less time copy-pasting data, fewer pointless manual tasks. Make it about their day getting better, not just the company's numbers. These 3 steps are what separate the AI projects that actually work from the ones that fizzle out. None of this requires a big tech budget. The technology is honestly the easy part. Anyone can buy a tool. Getting your team to actually use it and want to use it is much harder. It all starts with a conversation. And that conversation is the most important AI investment you can make right now. Have you talked with your team about your AI plans yet? How did it go? Tell us in the comments. And if this was useful, like and subscribe.